I'm in a bit of a rut right now. Well, I'm in a great period right now, but in the worst portion of it. Don't feel like I'm recovering day to day anymore. The rows, the front squats, really taxing the living hell out of me. And then you throw in a night shift, and then you basically have a fail waiting to happen. And so coming in today, when I woke up at 2 p.m., I'm sluggish, and you guys know the rest of the story. How you can imagine how you feel when you have a good night's rest and you feel weak. You can imagine how little strength you have when you add in a night shift into the mix. And so warmed up best I could, did my jumps, did all that kind of stuff, skipped around the freaking backyard trying to warm up, trying to get that elastic poppy feeling. Didn't get it. I went over to the bar, started warming up, and then I thought to myself, you know what, I better start thinking about protecting the floor because this is going to drop. I didn't want to suck myself out and just run away from the battlefield. I want to feel it. I want to feel what it feels like to fail. I never fail, and so I thought, today's the day. Let's protect the floor and fail. I seemed to have kind of learned how to grind in this 30-day streak somehow. And even when I don't feel confidence about the lift, I seem to have some sort of postural integrity in that universal sticking point to not just absolutely shit myself and start, rounding my spine. It happened once, a few days ago, but it hasn't happened since. So I kind of just stay with it, trust the legs to push, and stay away from that whole, rounded back posture. 180 felt crappy-ish. Put 200 on, and I just went, okay, hold the bar as hard as I had in my hands, and then control it down and absolutely give it all. And I made it. So the first thing that comes to my mind is that maybe the mind is not the best indicator of what's happening neck down. Automatically I'm thinking about John Bros and what he was preaching all those years ago about the body trying to lie to you and all that sort of stuff. I tend to like to hear those types of thoughts, but at the same time, these are the thoughts that get people injured. So there needs to be some sort of a middle ground in between complete extremism and running through brick walls and being a pussy and running away from the battlefield. It needs to be some sort of a calculated, I don't know how you quantify it. I don't know how you teach it. You don't teach it. You just basically spend a lot of time under the barbell and you trust the body. There are feelings that you feel that are bad, and there are feelings that you feel that are good. Same with pain. Sometimes you feel pain and you're like, okay, that's definitely not the good pain. The Domsey type of feeling is nice, but the sharpy, rippy feeling is not very nice. And so there's something that you just have to let time teach you, experience teach you. And every single day I say to you guys that I come in here with no expectations. I just warm up and I just assess how I feel. I assess how the bar's moving and how my body feels underneath it, and that's it. Sometimes the bar moves really, really slow, but I feel good underneath it. Other times the bar feels lighter, but I'm just all over the place. Knees are buckling in left and right, and my spine is kind of caving in. A lot of times I've done deadlifts in the past where I've pulled 265, 260, and you guys are like, man, you got 280 in you. But I feel like I'm not in a good position, that even another couple of kilos and I'm just failing that lift. So it's really hard to explain these things. But you just have to trust yourself, trust the gut feeling, and try and, keep your ego at check. 30 days is really nice. 29 days would have been nice, and 28 days would have been nice. 31 is nice. All this is arbitrary. I'm purely going on how I feel. I'm not interested in injuring myself. So, all of these attempts are, because the previous lift was all right. 180 felt slow, but I liked the way I felt underneath it. I was slow and I didn't have any explosion, but I stayed with it, and my spine stayed with it, and I had good alignment of all my joints, and that kind of gave me the confidence to put on some more weight. And that's basically how I approach these things. A lot of you guys are saying you need a deload. Of course I need a deload. You need a holiday. You need to do this. You need to do that. There's lots of different things that are, let's say that word, my favorite freaking word, optimal. What is optimal right now is for me to not work for the following 20 years. That would be bloody mint, mate. Byrne doesn't have to work 20 years. No more night shifts. I don't want to work. It's not optimal for my health. Jeez, what a piece of shit of a word that is. Optimal. Optimal for what? Which system? Which system is it optimal for? Body? Mind? Spirit? What are we talking about optimal? How do you teach somebody hardship optimally? How do you teach somebody the fruits of hardship, the lessons of hardship optimally? What is that? How do you teach the effects that trauma does to people optimally? People go through shit, not optimally. They just go through shit. And then at the end of that, they've got some heartache, they've got some headache, and then they've got some lessons. And that's how it works. Nobody teaches anybody optimally anything. The moment you put optimally in, you're missing out on a whole host of shit. Even when you're getting punched in the face, is it optimal? But you might be learning something there. You're learning something there. You can't see it? Oh, what is this squad everyday business, man? What are you doing, man? What are you doing? It's hard to get these things across. You know. How do you teach the lessons of a refugee kid optimally? How do you do it? Coming to Australia with one bag between 4 people in the family. That's all we had, no money. That's an optimal lesson. Optimal. These are the building blocks for a strong individual. Optimally. God, what a piece of shit. Optimally for what? Oh, yeah, Ivan, you don't understand, man. You're not building muscle. You're not getting stronger. You gotta deload, man. I'm just trying to live life, man. I'm trying to bulletproof myself for future hardship. Bulletproof myself for future trauma. And if you think this is hardship, approaching a little bar with some weight on it, oh, poor baby. Poor baby. The trauma that you feel today, the hardship that you feel today, is bulletproofing you for future trauma. Trauma's coming your way whether you like it or not. That's what life is. It's a piece of shit. It's a piece of shit. But if you choose to have some trauma today, you're going to deal with future trauma better. Simple as that. That's how I view these things. I don't look at the barbell as my road to Olympics, my road to 1 billion freaking subscribers and trillions of Ferraris in front of my house. That's not it. This is a tool. It kicks my ass every single day. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for teaching me. Hardship, trauma. That's how I look at this stuff. Just because I'm using the same utensil as you are, somebody that is interested in picking up chicks at a club and impressing the bros in the gym with the 600-pound squat, we're using the same utensil, but I'm after something very, very different. Nothing wrong with you, nothing wrong with me. Just because 2 people are driving a car on the road doesn't mean they're going to the same destination. Appreciate all of you guys like always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.